Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back in more ways than one. Welcome back to the return of the night stream. Since the World Cup has started, I haven't been able to stream at night, and so now I finally have a night off. Finally have a night off from soccer. All right, first things first. Let's make sure everything's working here. Hello, me. All right, hello, right back at you, buddy. What do we got going on? Hey, Super Frank, new country hype. That's right. We are starting a new country tonight. I cannot wait. Hey, the Radical Anarchist. Yo, what is up, my friend? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, as Super Frank said, we are starting a new country. We are doing a run as Australia. So let's get the new game going here. Let's hit start game. So we are going to be doing a run as Australia. We're doing a type of run I like to refer to as just a be awesome run. We are not aiming for any specific achievements. The last Japan series, which was kind of like 1.5 series, I think all in all, it was about 6 achievements I was trying to go for. I realized that might be a little too much. So this time, we are not aiming around any achievement. We are just trying to be the best Australia we can be. Night owls represent. That's right. That's right. Last few days have been kind of wild, but some Hammy Vic 3 is just what the doctor ordered. That is right. It's exactly what the doctor ordered for me. How you feeling? Ah, man, today was a rough day. For one, I'm still kind of hungover. Had a serious hangover all day, and am still kind of. The brain's moving a little slow right now. But yeah, I just kind of stayed off of social media all day today. I just was not... I just didn't want to deal with it. So I watched the games today, but just stayed off of the socials. Hey, Bizman, what's up? What's up? Hey, Ham. Why do I have a sudden craving for lunch? Oh, man, I don't know. Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back, because, yeah, we're back at night. We're back at night. I missed you. How you doing? So, with update 1.13, we got an update to the map. An update to the Australian map, which I believe from one of the dev diaries, too, they mentioned they actually worked with the creators of the Australia and New Zealand flavor mod for some of the map work, which is kind of cool. I can imagine staying off the socials is important for mental health. Yeah, absolutely. I do not feel like getting into any Reddit debates today on US soccer Reddit. Appreciate your commitment to the schedule. Yes, that's right. You gotta stay on schedule. Do you know when I very first started streaming, that was something I had read very early on. They're like, create a schedule and just stick to it. And man, has that proven true. You really do have to just set a schedule and just stick to that schedule. Hey, J-Makers, what's up? What's up, my friend? What's up, y'all? 2 words for the World Cup. Erling Haaland. Yes, he is great, right? I think now... oh, well, that's right, though. Norway's facing England. I was about to say, I'm going to be rooting for Norway now. I do like this English team, though. I don't know who I'm rooting for anymore. It's too early for me to figure that out. It's because I had to squeeze in my ham watching at lunch. Oh, and now I can watch at night. Oh, I get it. Yeah, you got so used to seeing me at lunchtime. Now you're like, I need lunch. I need a sandwich. Oh my god. All right, so this run, we're just trying to form Australia and be the best Australia we can be. We're going to start with New South Wales. In its transition from penal colony to crown colony, New South Wales has seen its territory reduced as the other provinces gain their own administrations. What does the future hold for Australia? What does the future hold indeed? Let's go. The clips of him with Rammstein playing are peak. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, of Holland. You know what I really love about Holland? His interviews are so refreshing. I get so tired of, like, interviews with captain speak. You know, like, what do you think of the next game? How's it going to go? Well, you know, we're going to leave it all on the field. We're going to play very hard. Like his interview before they played France, they're like, so what do you think of the game against France? He's like, I don't know. They're probably going to win. Whatever. Like, it's actually very refreshing. Even more reasons to dislike Argentina. No offense to, oh yeah, to any Argentines not named Messi. Oh man, that game today was... Oof. I mean, not that I'm rooting against Australia per se, but man, that was... I can't believe Egypt crumbled like they did. To go so high and then to crumble so quickly. It was tough to watch. Can you form Polynesia as Australia? I don't know. What do... Yeah, so we only have Australia on there right now. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe we need to start picking up more land to do it, maybe? I know, yeah, so there will be things that pop up here. I know at some point we can form New Zealand, so I guess maybe we got to get more land, more of the islands and stuff, and then we'll have the option to add Polynesia. All right. So we do have a couple states. Our main one is New South Wales here, but we also have New South Welsh Victoria. We have South Welsh Queensland. New South West... Oh my god. Is this going to be a thing, this whole series? New South Welsh Northern Territory. So we have that little sliver there. And then we have the North Island. We have the option to start colonizing down here, but as you can see, we're going to have to pay 100K to immediately build a port. And we don't have the money for that. And we're already colonizing this part, so once we finish, then we'll continue colonizing there. So we'll expand this stuff. Let's take a look at our main state. So we have a natural harbor, which is good. We have the Murray-Darling Basin, so we get throughput on agriculture, ranches, plantations, but we have the Great Dividing Range. Yes, so we have an issue with state construction efficiency and infrastructure, and that's going to be in most of these states in the east here. So we will have an issue with that. Could you go with not safe for work, just like most of the Aussie jokes? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess if you do an Australia series, you're going to have to get ready for that, right? That's basically me as a supporter of the U.S. men's national team. We're probably going to lose, but I'm just here to enjoy the beautiful game. Yeah. Oh, God. Yep. You better get to Australia quick so you don't have to keep saying, yeah, New South Welsh. I know, right? We got to do this quick. I'm not going to be able to do New South Welsh. I haven't decided who I'm supporting for the remainder of the Cup. Yeah. I'm excited to see Australia. I haven't touched it yet, but I know it's got some good resources from scoping it out during other runs. Yeah, I've been wanting to do an Australia run for a long time, even offline. I haven't really done it. So we're going to start it here. Should use upside down letters for the stream title. Oh man, that would have been good. I forgot about that. All right, so let's set some research here. We're going to need to get to railways. Military stuff, we don't need to run to immediately. We are a subject of the British, obviously. We do need to get to nationalism, but we really do need to go railways first. Then we're going to go nationalism, because we're going to need nationalism to start the Federate Australia journal entry, which is going to be important. Then after that, we'll go water tube boiler, nitroglycerin. Ooh, actually, no, I'm sorry. We're not going to do that. So we're going to go central banking right after railways. I forgot. So we're going to get plus 10% minting. We need any bit of money we can get because, like I said, we're a subject of the British. And those subject payments are really going to start adding up. So then we go central banking, nationalism, then water tube boiler. And that's all really set for now. I also took a break from Vicky 3 for a bit. Just got back into it recently. Nice. No time is better to get to Vicky 3 than the present, I say. We'll zoom into Sydney here, our current capital. Just hold your phone upside down. Yeah, there you go. Whoop. I tried Japan, but was in a bit deeper than I could keep up with. Took a break, decided to go back to the basics. Congo again, that's been going pretty well. Yeah, there you go, Congo. You know I love a good Congo run. By the way, look at these little horses just stuck in place. It's so funny, everything except the water, the birds, and the horse's legs are going. All right. So like I said, we are a subject of the British. Now, we need to start earning some money quickly because as a colony, we owe them 30% of all of our income. And they're going to up the vassalization thing at one point, which is going to add more. Lucky for us, the British market really sucks at iron, and we have iron. So we want to get some construction sectors going. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to build logging camps. We're going to get a tooling workshop. We'll get the cotton plantation going, and then we're just going to do 5 iron mines, and we're going to do all of that before we do the construction sector. And the reason for this is we're going to end up paying a lot of money to the British. We don't have a lot of reserves. I don't want to dip into debt early on, even though our debt, our interest rate is only 16% here. All right, now let's look at some decrees we're going to start with. I depeasanted so hard, I'm almost out of people to employ about 30 years in. As Japan, wow, that was the thing I had trouble with. It just had way too many people. Someday I'm going to go back to that Japan. All right, we'll add some road maintenance here. Some promote national values. We're also going to put down a greener grass campaign because we want migration attraction to be high. We only have 23,000 peasants here, but again, since we're a British subject, we'll be able to get a lot of people off of other British places. And then we'll, for now, encourage the resource industry. We're going to improve relations with all of our Australian neighbors because of the Federate Australia journal entry that's coming up. And then once we can get we only need 30 more influence, then we can improve relations with Great Britain, because we're going to need good relations with them in order to have them give us places from Australia. Let's, just to keep Liberty Desire up a little bit here, we'll do this. Oh, actually, no, we won't, because, yeah, this is going to deteriorate our relationship. They're not going to annex us, so we have that on our side. I need to get back into Vicky 3, but I just can't find the time. Trying to write a paper over the summer. Oof, work over the summer. Ah, yeah, that is tough. I have found I have done absolutely nothing since the World Cup started. I thought I was going to get more videos done over the summer, but I underestimated how addicted I am to the World Cup. All right, what else? So we can't do anything else with influence. Let's see. Let's get ourselves a general real quick. We have traditionalist, a moderate, that, flat terrain, meticulous, perfect. Charles Duggan. Oh, we haven't looked at our government at all. So we have a colonial governor here. Richard Burke. Offensive planner, charismatic. And he's a military governor, which is fine for now, but we might end up changing this. We get more conscripts from this guy. So first thing we want to do is switch off of peasant levies because that's giving aristocrats 25% political strength. So let's get to professional army to start. Go with that. Anything else? Anything else I'm forgetting? Oh yeah. And we'll add in these guys just for the hell of it. Budget-wise, yeah, this is good. Let's build up the reserves first. And I think we're good here. I think we're good. I think we're good to save our start. All right. Oh, no, you meant Congo. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. I was like, damn, you de-peasanted Japan in 30 years? I feel shame. I don't know how you're supposed to de-peasant Japan. That was one of the things I was struggling with. Yeah. Australia is probably a good country to go for strong naval presence with. Yeah, I was pushing that pretty hard in my Vietnam run. It's a good location, especially with all the straits near it. Yeah, we're definitely going to be going hard on the Navy. Especially at some point we want to break free from Great Britain. All right. I think we're ready for the first unpause. Away we go. Away we go, my friends. Here we go. Hey, Mauricio. Good to see you back, my friend. Hi, Hammett Chat. Long time no see. Yeah, I am sorry, my friend. I am sorry. But we are back with the night stream now that there's no World Cup at night for the foreseeable Tuesdays. Good to see you, my friend. How are you? Where are you colonizing? So we, in many places, we're colonizing here, there, up here, and over here in New Zealand. So we're colonizing many places. Oh, yes, I forgot. So, after we do nitroglycerin, we want to get to quinine so that we can up the Colonial Affairs Institution. Ah, we actually can do it right now. I forgot. Okay. So, okay. Let's add in, because we want to get colonizing as quickly as we can. Let's add a government admin building right at the top. It'll be cheap. We're not doing paper because we only need 10 bureaucracy to up this. We want to up the education as well. So how much bureaucracy is that going to give us? 10. Well, we might add some paper in there. What is the British market? Super expensive. Well, we'll see. But we're definitely going to get 10 to up the to up colonial affairs. And we'll take a look here at Sydney as we go. Oh, hey, Mr. Floyd Pinkerton. Hello. How you doing? I'm sorry, man, but U.S. team had that coming for them. Justice was served, and they deserve that loss. And to lose that bad. Yeah. I'm not going to touch that right now. But I agree, the obligatory F the orange, man. I hate that man with every fiber of my being. I thought I couldn't hate him anymore, and then he inserted himself into my special time, the World Cup. Sorry not being here since long. I can't wake up early enough. Yeah, for the early streams, my sleep schedule too broken. But hope the Japan and Serbia last chapters are fun. Yeah, no, it's all cool, my friend. I assumed, because I thought we usually only see you during the night stream, so I was like, damn, I'm not going to see Mauricio for a little bit. But glad to have you back. Raw goods industries in New South Wales are reporting a small spike in goods production at our whaling stations, which has led to an extra stockpile being available in the state, and there is now potential to reinvest it back into this state. Excellent. So we'll take that. We get throughput on all that stuff. The relatively lenient New South Welsh immigration system has long been attractive to those fleeing their home nations. Recently, Felipe Saliveri has petitioned to join the stream of people moving to New South Wales. Oh, first of all, I love the name of our landowners, the Squatocracy. Like, I love that name so much, it makes me almost want to lean into them. But we definitely don't want a Squatocracy slaver. Sorry, my guy. Yeah, look at that. We get -2 interest approval for the industrialists who are marginalized right now, so we'll take that. Oprah voice. You get colonized, and you get colonized. Everybody gets colonized. Yeah, that's right. But everybody is going to get colonized. Because otherwise, FIFA is so corruption-free. Just kidding. Also with you on Rump. Yeah, I know. I mean... I love how Europeans are so up in arms when they're for the first time on the other side of corruption. This is what it feels like for the rest of us. Every other moment in this sport. Look at all those loyalists. I know, right? Oh my God, I'm not used to it anymore. I'm just happy to have one after that Japan stream. Enthralled by the beautiful romanticist artwork produced by Philippine artists, the intelligentsia have begun lobbying in favor of closer ties with the Philippines. Yeah, we'll take a pro-Philippines lobby. FIFA was always corrupt, but this is a new avenue of corruption and sets a worse precedence. Ah, please. I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and, of all things, defend Trump. It is corruption what happened, but there have been heads of state intervening in FIFA for a long, long time. Let's not forget that the government of Qatar stole the 2022 World Cup from the United States. We were the final bid for that World Cup, and yet, because the rulers of Qatar, loss spread to consideration, gave a bunch of money, they awarded the World Cup to a country that hadn't yet built a single stadium. Heads of state have been involved in corruption in this game forever. I think you're doing the Romania series thing all over again, where you play in a country that would get flavor later. Yeah, maybe. Well, no. So Australia didn't get flavor, but they got an update to the map. The map is different with 1.13. So I have a feeling the next update, which is, I can't remember if the next update is the Russia one or the China one. It also doesn't come out for a long time. I don't think any Australia stuff will go in there. But yeah, that Romania one, that was kind of funny. That's awesome. I could get behind the Squatocracy. Yeah, I know, right? I need to look up what the history behind that. Why are they called the Squatocracy? Never ask a woman her age, a man his salary, or a British subject where they are colonizing. Oh my God, that's brilliant, Super Frank. I love that. That's brilliant. Oh, no, not this. Oh, also, let's pin this. Let's see. Okay, so let's hire up so we can get to 10. We'll wait till it gets there. Isn't Filippo Saliveri the guy from Central America in the journal entry? No, I thought he's the Bolivia guy. Isn't he the, like, the Bolivian Confederation person? Could be wrong about that. That's what I thought he was. I saw Australia got a bit of a rework along South Africa too. Yeah, there's still few content. Yeah, like I'm sure this place of the world has much resources, and you don't have a way to encourage immigration like Brazil. Well, but I usually do a little bit of like a test run of the first 10 years of a run before I start it, just so I can see what the opening moves are going to be, and I find that you get quite a bit of, not mass migrations, but just weekly migration from the rest of Great Britain if you have high attraction. So you can see here, we're getting immigrants from the Lowlands, Agra, and Carnatic. So all of Great Britain and the British subjects, we can get some pops from. So it's actually not so bad to be in the British Empire at the moment. Well, he's just got to ruin everything he touches. I know. That's a man who can't keep his hands to himself. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately. All right, law progressed to adoption here. We're about to finish our first logging camp. No politician ever intervened in the game itself. Maybe where the game takes place, but never in the game itself. I mean... Yeah, I have a lot I could say on the matter. I was fuming about it all day yesterday, and then the actual match just really made me livid, so it's over now. It's done now. This is why I'm not a fan of the World Cup. Despite being Argentinian, there's way too much money and PR politics to think every game is legit and honest. Yeah. So much bets from both rich and poor people. Yeah. I know. I'm probably not the person to weigh in on anything related to the game at the moment, because I'm very jaded today, I will say. Oh, yeah, oh, you meant South America. Yeah, the Peru-Bolivia thing. Yeah, it is that person, yeah. Which is kind of funny that we almost got that person here. Actually, who can we get here? Oh yeah, Giuseppe Garibaldi. Get a radical in here. And yeah, we could always use a radical. We have a radical movement going. Let's bring him in. Welcome to South. Welcome to Australia, my friend. And commercials. I get bombarded by non-stop commercials that relate everything to the World Cup ever since it starts, and most of them both assume we win all and have the product unrelated. Yeah, like, you have to buy this hamburger, Messi eats it, and thinks like that. So much of it being a business ruins the authenticity to me. It's like that here, too. Oh, my God. It's funny because, oh, what do we got going here? Yep, so the Great Britain moves against Qing. That always happens at the start. The one thing the United States has always been about is the World Cup. Even when not a lot of people in the country were watching the sport, people were still into the World Cup when it started. And so for most of my life, and at the moment now, all the commercials in some way are related to the World Cup. And the wise words of Rafiki, it doesn't matter, it's in the past. Yeah, exactly. It is what it is at this point. How much does starting as a subject affect your ability to pass laws? I haven't tried playing any of the countries like that yet. The tests that I've done, but again, I've only gone to about like 18, like 45 maybe. Haven't had any issues with laws. But again, we'll see when we actually start really getting into the run. 10 years in Victoria 3 actually isn't all that long. We're actually going to go to Speed 4 for a little bit since tooling workshops take a while. We need to get through this initial build queue. Though previously opposing the professional army laws, Giuseppe Garibaldi has considered the armed forces' political position and instead offers support. We'll take the full 10%. We don't really want him to lose popularity, so we'll take the full 10. Sorry for coming in. Oh, hot ham. Nah, it's all right. It's all good, my friend. It's all good. I can't imagine how upset you must have been when the integrity of the U.S. team was attacked by Trump like that. Yeah. It made me sad that no one from the U.S. team spoke against Trump. Yeah. I cannot tell you how enraged I am by that. I'll be honest, I also am enraged by... I'm enraged by the fact that he inserted himself into it. I'm enraged by the fact that suddenly... what really set me off yesterday, I'll tell you, I'll say this part. What really set me off yesterday was that statement by UEFA. UEFA released a statement yesterday basically saying we need to uphold the rules, or the rules need to be applied to everybody equally in order to uphold the integrity of the sport. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Of all the organizations, UEFA, Manchester City has been breaking your rules for over a decade. And it came to light, and you've yet to do anything to them. Enforcing the rules for the integrity of the game, of all things, UEFA is going to talk about that. So it enraged me that Trump had anything to do with it, but it also enraged me that suddenly UEFA and all these other people are clutching their pearls like, corruption in football? I'm like, you created a corrupt sport. You're just mad that suddenly the corruption is working against you. So I was also enraged by that. I was enraged on multiple fronts yesterday. And then the game just really set me over the edge. Like this one World Cup, at least was more interesting, I feel, since lots of ties and wins of underdogs. Yeah, keep everybody on their toes, but still won't be if it's the same countries in the finals again. Yeah, I mean, it probably will be. It probably will be. Best part of a ham run, all the buildings take forever so Ham can keep up a chat. Yeah, exactly. I know. Especially the beginning of this run. It's actually how I do select the runs sometimes, because there are certain runs that there's a lot of downtime with nothing really to do. Like, for instance, I would love to do an Indian Territory run, but an Indian Territory run, there's large chunks of the game where you really just have to sit and wait because you can't really do anything. Australia isn't necessarily like that, though the beginning part here, it does take a little bit to get rolling. But it still tells you something, how much people care more about their bets, yeah, to the safe team than the actual game. That is really more of a business mixed with bread and circus, Eve. Yeah, at the best of days. I cannot tell you how much I hate sports betting. Sports betting is such a... it preys on the poor and the working class. And then it also makes people root for the game in ways that it shouldn't. I hate sports betting. I've never bet on a sport, and I never will. All right. We have professional army. Well, let's see what this guy has to say. Well, Giuseppe Garibaldi's abilities to move the minds of commoners have proven useful in the fight against Lanfang. His radical preachings are starting to turn some of New South Wales Queensland's farmers against our own rule as well, with several government ministers now demanding he be gagged. Oh, man. Okay, we don't necessarily want him to be exiled. We can afford to lose one approval here. We are getting 20% infrastructure from the rural folk, which I do really like. Man, it's gotta suck to be a person whose last name is Bland. William Bland. William Bland is like the perfect combination of a bland name. That is kind of funny. I wish William Bland had like tattoos and a mohawk or something. And then what else here? Yeah, we get some radicals. I need to be careful with that, but we're gonna take it. Oh, so next, while we have the armed forces and the rural folk here, we will get ourselves a police force. So let's do it. It's like APAC coming out and saying, yeah, hey, let's have some clean politics, guys. Yeah, seriously. It's a good analogy right there. Oh, hey, the Grizz. Hello, hello. Hi, Ham. I'm glad I could finally make a stream. This is my favorite Paradox game. I've learned a lot from your YouTube videos. Ah, thank you, my friend. Oh, so good to hear. Thanks for stopping into the live stream to say so. I really appreciate it. I'm glad they're helpful. Who's your current run with right now? Who you got going on? You're lucky you're not subject to online sports betting. It's a cancer. The U.S. sucks for that. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I hate it. I hate it so much. That is one thing I've conceded the last couple of years. Oh, okay. So here's actually one thing we don't mind with the British power block. Level 3 of the Colonial Offices institution here. First of all, we say bureaucracy and colonial affairs. Oh yeah, we gotta fix that. But we also get some extra colonial growth generation. Speaking of which, let's up that. And let's up this. That is one thing I've conceded the last couple of years. I usually take a pretty libertine approach to stuff like vices, because I think that abstinence and criminalization often does more harm than good. The more I hear about the sports betting stuff, the more I feel like there really is a deep need for someone to intervene. It's wildly destructive to both people participating in the things they're betting on. Yeah, absolutely. It really does. And it's getting even worse now with these things like Polymarket and Kalshi, where you literally just bet on anything in the world. I hate it. I hate it. You should rename William Bland to Will It Bland? Yes. But I'm going to put a period between the I and the T. Will IT Bland? The national effort to implement dedicated police force has become the subject of debate between partisan newspapers and may disrupt the lawmaking process. So, are we feeling lucky? I usually say just take the guaranteed 10. Yeah, see, if we lost 10%, that would be pretty bad. Let's just take the guaranteed 10. We don't really need to negotiate either for this right now. William Bland, much sexier in an Aussie accent, I assume. Yeah, that's true. I'm not even going to attempt an Australian accent. I'm not going to butcher the Australian accent like that, because I would be really bad at it. More harm. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm trying to play Paraguay and maintain their intelligentsia isolation ideology. Very nice. Paraguay is a fun one. Paraguay is the second stream series I ever did. So I do have a Paraguay series out there, though at this point, you know, it is a little old. But it was called Paraguay because I gotta. I mean, APAC does do that. Oh. I bet they do. I bet they do. Oh, APAC. I've been experimenting with low literacy runs with production military tech priority. It's pretty strong, really. Politics is very comfy without a bunch of illiterate DSA commies. I bet it is. Yeah, I mean, the higher the literacy, the higher I think it's your standard of living, right? Or the expected standard of living, I mean. Hey, Washa Hussein, hello, how are you doing? I'm good. Good as well, thanks. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome back. Oh, Laudabate success, very nice. Ham, what you said is literally whataboutism. Oh, hold on. Oh, we got railways. All right, hold on. I'm going to come back to that, Mr. Floyd Pinkerton. Real quick, though. We're going to need a railway. So we are going to add... And we really want to keep things... to ourselves. Now, I won't actually add the railway because once we start the construction sector, it's very possible the private sector will start building it. If they don't, then we'll add it in ourselves. Very literally, whataboutism? The rules need to apply sometime. You probably think I'm European, but no, I'm from Afghanistan. No, I didn't. I wasn't. I actually really wasn't referring to you. I was talking about when I was referring to like Europeans. I meant the like backlash I was reading about all day yesterday. That was pissing me off. I'm from Afghanistan. We've had the poop end of things forever and told, look who's talking every time we complain. Sometimes you just got to take the L and realize this is just how things should go. Trump is just too much. Yeah, well, but see, I do agree. I hate whataboutism too, and I call it out as well. And I mean, I think you're right. It is whataboutism. Like, well, what about this? But I'm like, there does come this whole sport is built on upholding Europe as the center of the sport and keeping it centralized there. And I could go on a whole rant about that, but and I do think that's wrong. And so what I'm saying is it doesn't make me sympathetic to people upset about corruption when you yourself are corrupt but now are on the wrong end of it. I'm not saying it's right. It is corruption. Trump getting involved in all of that was absolute corruption. What I'm saying is I have no sympathy to the people who are now calling out corruption, who had no problem with the corruption when it was benefiting them. I mean, for God's sakes, the rule that was invoked is called the Ronaldo rule. It happened last November for Cristiano Ronaldo, and UEFA was absolutely silent on it. I think it's wrong, and I don't think it should have happened, but I guess what I'm saying is I don't have any sympathy for the people getting upset about the corruption when you've stayed silent for my entire life about the corruption of the sport as it benefits UEFA and all of the, like, powers that be in European football. This afternoon, Richard Burke, leader of the armed forces, delivered a fiery speech advocating for the enactment of dedicated police force. I don't really care about this guy being liked, so I'd rather take the full 15% on that. Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed now. Oh, okay, I tried to avoid the specific topic of whataboutism past 24 to 48 hours, and I do not have the mental patience to endure a debate about that. Aussie, oi, oi, oi. Yeah, no, I was actually debating whether I was going to debate this, because I don't trust myself to not get too agitated about it, and I don't mean to be overly agitated, because I also, under the surface, am just furious about the U.S. men's national team, and it's kind of being fueled by that, so I'm probably not going to debate it for too much. Not for any fault of anybody here, but because I don't trust myself to stay within bounds on it. Speaking of betting, what's the over-under like on Ham building the first university? I got 1850. I am keeping it in mind. I am keeping it in mind. I also thought about kids in the mines. We're going to try to do this sooner rather than later. Oh, I didn't realize you could read my comment anyway. It said it was too long. Oh, so I gave up. Oh, yeah. Oh, did it? You know, so I can see the comments when Twitch cuts them out, but it doesn't, like, my my OBS here shows it to me. My OBS doesn't actually tell me that it got cut out. So I read it anyway, even though OBS, even though Twitch cut it. Would be so funny if Britain just decided to Diplo annex you. Yeah, I certainly hope not. See, so what's interesting about this is I usually work when you're playing as a subject, I usually work very hard to get out of this range so that you don't get annexed. But I think specifically because there is this scripted thing of Federate Australia, I think they don't. So once we can use Federate Australia to get all the other subjects, then we're going to start working really hard to get out of this annexation range here. A largely peaceful demonstration for the radical movement has been violently broken up by the local militia. The petite bourgeoisie, a major supporter of the movement, is particularly upset by the violence. The incident has led many to question the wisdom in establishing any permanent law enforcement with the right to use force. Ooh, I don't actually want to lower the radicalism of the radical movement. So this is like a double whammy right here. We can give them more activism but lose pop attraction. Oof. All right, let's do this. Let's roll the dice and do this. All right, we got plus 10%. Now we are hurting the pop attraction here a little bit, which isn't great. Literacy is what drives political activism. That's right. Yeah. So without high national literacy... Oh, there we go. Speaking of which, your lower strata is inert. Makes the politics much more upper and middle strata centric. Easier to manage. An interesting run. I've never tried it before to purposely keep literacy low. So you keep your poor strata illiterate so they don't get funny ideas. The old reliable in the elite book. Yeah, that's so true. Sorry, edit 1950. Oh, you got. I thought you were gonna have faith in me. Because you said 1850. That's funny. I'll look it up. Your Paraguay series. The most fun run I've had, was with Mexico. Yeah, I love a Mexico run. I allied with the UK to maintain my hold in the US Southwest, but then got sphered by them in mid-game. Oof. I was finally able to reclaim my independence by the end of the game and finished as a major power. Nice! Congrats. Yeah, Mexico run is difficult, especially the beginning of the run, because the United States declares on you so early. All right, we are now... So, we've got a good amount of assets here. Let's lower tax... Oh, damn it, I forgot. We have consumption taxes on grain. We'll let that go through. Law of progressive consideration. All right, there we go. So we'll keep things where they are right now. It's hard to call out hypocrisy without it sounding like whataboutism. Yeah, that's also a good point. Whataboutism is saying it's okay because someone else is doing it. Yeah. I'm not saying it's okay. It's not okay. It's absolute corruption. Calling out hypocrisy is saying your criticism rings hollow because you're also doing it. That can exist alongside recognizing it's bad. Yeah. I don't know, maybe I'm unpatriotic, but I thought the red card was fair. Oh, it's interesting, you know, that that game against Bosnia, when I first saw it, I thought it was a red, because I missed it in real time, and so I saw the replay. And I have to say, when you watch it in slow motion, like many things in slow motion, it did look really bad. But then after the game was done, I looked it up, and when you look at it in real time, I was like, I think a straight red was kind of harsh on that. So I think it depends on how you saw it. It's to me, it feels like one of those things. In slow motion, it looks much worse than what it actually was on the field. An influential faction within the intelligentsia has grown frustrated with their co-members' neutrality on the topic of dedicated police force. Themselves in favor of the law, they have now resolved to form a separate political faction intent on passing it. All right, we'll take that. We're moving along well for that law. Yeah, it works. When the 90% go to work and go home instead of caring about their favorite ism, the country functions pretty well. Pretty well, yep. High literacy needs advanced society tech. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like, that's why most authoritarian regimes start cutting out schools. Stealing is bad. If some people are getting away with it, doesn't make it right. Or sympathy should be with the law. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. I'm not saying it is right. I'm just saying, like, if you don't... I guess what I'm saying is, why don't we have the law apply to everybody? Why don't we have the laws that of this governing body apply to everyone? Because they don't. They rarely do. So this is the thing that I knew was going to happen eventually. So we're now at vassalization 2. Income transfer from subjects, yeah. Richard Burke, the charismatic leader of the armed forces, have approached the government with a plan to enact National Guard. A successful enactment is certain to contribute to his reputation as an effective politician. Yeah, if we say no, we lose legitimacy for 5 years, and I do eventually want to go for National Guard, so we will take that. The ruling armed forces, led by the charismatic Richard Burke, has initiated a great promotional tour. The decision to focus efforts domestically or internationally has been left to the last minute, however, and it's unclear if the armed forces will do more for itself or for the country as a whole. Oh, you know, okay, so we'll take this. I forgot, we are over the 300 now. So we're going to start improving relations with Great Britain. We're going to need this for federating Australia. We'll go back to looking at Sydney here. So now we're starting on the iron mines. The iron mines are basically going to be like our cash cow here. They're going to make us a ton of money in this British market. I found one of the biggest benefits of literacy rate is actually the tech spread. 30 years in as Congo right now with about 60% literacy rate, and I'm getting tech spread about the same rate as I'm researching. Yeah, that is like the biggest benefit, and especially if you're doing like a Congo run like that. Catching up on tech is so vital. So I'm getting about 4 techs at once. See, that's great. And that's going to make the run a lot easier. Alright, another British war that we are not getting involved in at all. Regardless of to what degree skill or corruption is the cause of it, the World Cup don't really going to feel global until we have champions not from Western Europe or South America. Yeah, well... when 35% of the tournament is European. And that's coming down from the 32-team tournament when 40% of the tournament was European. But, you know. I mean, it's kind of like... there aren't equal rules ever in this tournament. Almost half the tournament comes from one continent. Spoken like a Pinkerton. Do you venerate savagery? I think I butchered that RDR2 line there. Oh. Damn, I forget the line. I don't know the line. It's been a while since I did some Red Dead Redemption 2. I've been thinking about that game, actually. I feel, because with all the talk of Grand Theft Auto 6 coming, I'm like, man, I should load up some Red Dead Redemption 2 and do another run. Because that game, I mean, I don't have to say it, you know... I don't have to say it, but the game is fantastic. But it's been a long, long time. Kind of miss it. All right. We have dedicated police force. So next... Oh. Hello there. Oh, yeah. Well, we do... Okay. We do have to go for National Guard. We have a promise. And we do want National Guard. Okay. We do need more bureaucracy. So now we will buy some British paper. It is expensive. Yeah, it's really expensive. But I think it'll be okay for now. An event organized by the radical movement transformed into a brawl as opponents of the movement infiltrated the crowd. When the police arrived, no participant was willing to give a consistent statement. Yeah, we'll take this. We just lose one approval from the petite bourgeoisie, so we'll do that. All right, though. We are at the hour mark, and so we do have to take a quick 90-second break, pay homage to our gods of ads, so that we don't have to watch ads during gameplay. So we're going to take 90 seconds, and we will be right back. All right, and we're back, and we're back, and we're back. Let's see here. Let me catch up. Oh, hey, Double Zeta. Hello, hello. What's up, Ham? Your vids help me learn the game a great deal. Thank you, and I look forward to every new one. Thank you, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming in to say so. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? I love it when people stop in to say that. Thank you. I'm glad they're helpful. Well, I am American. Just referring to the original Pinkerton. Oh, the Strikebreaker. Yeah, yeah. You know, I wish I knew about Pinkertons when I created this account in my teens. I was too into Pink Floyd. Oh, damn. Is that what it is? Do you know when I first saw when you first started coming into the stream, I thought it was Red Dead Redemption related. I mean, I know about the Pinkertons, like the real life ones, but I assumed it was just because of Red Dead Redemption. No harm, no foul, yeah. Yeah, society specialization trades strategic and productive power for being advanced and being able to handle a literate population, which needs institutions. Yeah, yeah. But also I'm a Pinko-Kami bastard who's usually going from one version of an anarcho-kami utopia. So take it with a pinch of salt. Yeah. I just tried getting Boostroid to play RDR2, but my card wouldn't work since it's overseas and not on GeForce Now. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot Rockstar Games is not on GeForce Now. Forgot about that. You're right, though. If you know you're getting screwed and there are alternatives, you're not just going to go to work and come home like it's another beautiful day. Exactly. When you know the difference. What's National Guard good for? Like National Militia? I don't see many giving it praises. Oh, National Guard has a lot of great stuff, actually. So one, you get extra conscripts. So it'll give you more conscripts because you get this 0.03 conscription rate. And then the higher you make the institution, the more conscripts you'll be able to get. Political movement activism goes down, so this will help you avoid revolutions. And then, again, this goes up as you raise the institution. Then the speed that these revolution and secession progress bars goes down, which gives you more time to pass the law and then have the revolution and secession bar start to degrade. So it helps you, it gives you more time to pass things. Then you get these things, of course. But then now, something new, this coup resistance. So you get a little bit of a buffer for putting coups down. So yeah, it is a great law. It is a very good law to have. I hate to say it, but I like National Guard more than guaranteed liberties. All right, let's get going. Oh, the Grizz. Yeah, have a good one, too. Thanks for stopping in. Good to meet you. Hope I see you again. Have a good night. I do want to try to play it when I can, though. I've heard really good things about it. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about the GTA games, but RDR was awesome. Yeah, I'm not big into Grand Theft Auto games, to be honest with you. I mean, I will probably get Grand Theft Auto 6 because it just looks amazing. I really want to see what it's like, but it's one of those games I probably won't finish. But Red Dead Redemption is just great. That game I did finish. I finished both of them. Although it was during COVID, so I had the time to do it too. But they are great games. A social club popular with the educated class has held a salon in Sydney with Giuseppe Garibaldi speaking in favor of National Guard as an honored guest. No, we'll take the 10%. Thank you very much. What? So we're just gonna subsidize this for now to get people into this because it will give us tons of money. Yeah, so now look, we are getting 1.4K weekly migration from a bunch of British places, which is going to keep us getting peasants and employing our buildings here. We don't have a ship queue yet. We're going to do that eventually. We don't have a shipyards, but we don't really need one at the moment. We're kind of okay with that. I mean, it's partly why this isn't really doing anything right now, but yeah, shipyards is something we will get eventually. But we need to get the construction sector going first, and we need to get a whole bunch of iron mines going in order to cover the money that we're going to owe Great Britain. Ah, yes. Okay, so the colonization of the North Island is done. So now we can start colonizing the rest of it, and we don't have to pay 100K to build a port. take a look at how our colonization is progressing. Western Australia is moving out there. All right, we got labor movement, so now we can get the kids out of the mines. Law of progressive consideration, excellent, excellent. Central banking is spreading. Good, so we'll get that very quickly. Screw frigate, which is fine, but we don't have shipyards yet. The emergency relief stuff with National Guard is no joke. Yeah, if you're somewhere that gets a lot of natural disasters, yeah, like a Dynam run. That's handicapped some of my runs. Yeah. Is the empty ship queue due to having no construction sectors? Yeah, because we don't have a shipyards, so we have no ship construction points. So we're not gonna. We're also not doing the supply thing, which is why we have nothing up here right now. Into the subsidized mines. That's right. That's right. We just need people to start moving there. Yeah, like look at this. And this is only going to go up from there. We'll do this once we get our own supply of coal. Oh, law of progressive consideration. Because... Oh, actually, coal is pretty cheap in the British market. So yeah, we will do that here. We'll take the subsidy off for now. I played one OG GTA game on PlayStation growing up when I was probably much too young. Some of them are really solid games. Some are just meh. I like Vice City, San Andreas, and 4. I'm going to really age myself now. The very first Grand Theft Auto game I played was Grand Theft Auto 1 on the PC. Back when it was just an aerial view of a map and you actually were just supposed to go steal cars. I remember that game. Yeah, National Guard fits the whole prepper vibe and petite bourgeoisie and armed forces have. Yeah, guaranteed libs advantage is keeping political movements safer. Yeah. The whole prepper vibe. I like the description there. In an obscure meeting, Giuseppe Garibaldi and a proxy of the squatocracy rambled at length about the positives of National Guard. One was cognizant enough to take minutes. So we get political strength through the trade unions here. I don't necessarily want to give... Oh, well, actually, the squatocracy has lost considerable political strength. So yeah, we'll do this, because... Oh, yes, I forgot. And the trade unions are pissed. So we're losing construction efficiency. I played 5, and it was pretty good, but I never had any desire to play the online. I'm going to give 6 a try. It definitely looks like they put some serious work into it. I'm curious to see how it'll be. Yeah, it's amazing how it looks like photoreal. Like, I just kind of want to see what that's like. Vassalization 3. So the only thing this really adds is allowing enacting decrees on subject states. So we don't really care too much about that. Through the widespread introduction of the atmospheric engine in the mining industry, productivity is at an all-time high. Yeah, we're going to take tech spread on the water tube boiler. All right, yeah, so now we're seeing the effects of the trade unions here. We got to make those guys happy when we're done with National Guard. I love Japanese music playing in the background for some reason. Yeah, very immersive paradox. I know, I think about that as well. Now that, because of the Great Wave, no matter what country you're doing, you get this very Japanese music going. All right, we have National Guard. Let's get our government petition done. What would these guys like that will shut them up? Yeah, we don't want to change any of that yet. Do wage subsidies. Oh, actually, you know, I don't mind right to associate. Let's do that. All right. So now they're happy again. We'll get our construction back. Well, the armed forces are very amenable. So we will negotiate with them. Prominent armed forces meet in Sydney's finest cafe to discuss right to associate. With the right leverage, perhaps their opinions could be swayed. Yes. We will commit to increasing the size of the army. It's always a very easy one to do. I think the Red Dead Redemption story is a lot tighter, too. Red Dead Redemption 2 sounds fascinating from a story and technical perspective in terms of in the environment. Yeah. Yeah, the story in Red Dead Redemption 2 is just as great. I actually really loved it. Did you finish RDR2? I did. Yes, I did. I loved it. I actually played Red Dead Redemption 2 before I played the first one. So it wasn't really a prequel for me. I just kind of did the story in chronological order. Oh, hey, Enjoyful. Hello, hello. Anyone knows a relaxing game? I find this game relaxing, to be honest with you. This one. With New South Wales at peace and the fight against tyrants over, at least for now, Giuseppe Garibaldi has decided to leave the country in pursuit of another worthy cause. All right, Godspeed, my friend. Thank you for your service. Who can we get now? Oh, we actually can get two. Oh, are we on a cooldown? We are. Until August 1841. So we got another year before we can invite anybody. In an alternate timeline, people don't really mind the first GTA violence, and the entire series didn't happen. True case of no publicity being bad. I know, right? Can you imagine? It's so funny to think that little computer game I played with my friend way back in the day. I'm like, this is going to be the biggest, one of the biggest game series of all time. That's crazy. I remember thinking that during the Japan run. One of the IGs was something like the Zaibatsu, which I recall correctly, was one of the gangs. Oh, you work for in GTA 1 or 2. That's pretty funny, actually. Oh, yes, another British war that we aren't going to get involved in at all. Talk about dating yourself. The first video game I ever played was Pong. we were fascinated. Yeah, I could watch it for hours. God, I don't know what the first video game I ever played was. Maybe it was the first Mario Brothers? No. It had to be something before that, actually. Because I remember when we got the Nintendo and I played that for the first time. So it's probably something before that. Frustrated with the lengthy legal process surrounding right to associate, Edwin Jeffcott of the trade unions has approached us with an offer to expedite the process, utilizing his personal connections within the state apparatus. I guess the first video game I remember playing is Super Mario Brothers. We'll take this. We can afford to lose 2 approval from the petite bourgeoisie here. Japan is a great society run. They're too literate to handle otherwise. They're too literate. Oh, no. Actually turned the Great Wave music off for my Congo run, to be fair, though. Australia is closer to Japan than Europe. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Yeah, we're actually not that far. Usually I try to move around the globe for runs, but we're still pretty much in the same area. But they updated the map, so I feel like now is a good time. And I really did just want to play Australia. Dutch is the embodiment of a Luddite rural folk leader. the charismatic and social bandit traits. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I've never done actually a Netherlands run. Ah, central banking, excellent. All right, so we got a little bit more minting there. All right, nice. So we're going nationalism. Then we'll move through some of the society tech. More pragmatically inclined members of the petite bourgeoisie, currently opposed to the passing of right to associate, have offered to change their stance were they to be offered certain political concessions. Such concessions would not be popular with the trade unions, however. Well, yeah, I don't want to lose success chance. I suppose we could lose 3 approval as long as we don't get down to -5. I don't want to negotiate with the rural folk unless they're at least at 50. Because we'll pay 1.5 times the cost of stuff when you're below 50 amenability. We had a Super Nintendo, but it was mostly sports games. Yeah, the first one I really remember playing is Ocarina of Time. I'm stoked about the remake, especially because my kids are around the same age. Oh, I was when I first played it, excited to share it with them. Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of excited for it too. I want to play it because I never really played it. On the original Nintendo, I was very much into Zelda. The first one and the second one. But then after the Nintendo, I got a Sega Genesis. I never had a Super Nintendo. And I never really had a Nintendo at all after that. Like the GameCube I didn't have. So I never really got to keep up with Zelda. Until I got a Switch. And then played Breath of the Wild. Alright, so something we can do... So we keep getting the military governor, right? At some point, we can request a new governor. And if we request a petite bourgeoisie one, we'll get a discount on our interest rate, which I think we might need once we hit these construction sectors. So that's why I'm not requesting the new governor yet. We'll see where we are once these construction sectors get built. Talking about the RDR2 characters. No, the country. Oh, also you missed my comment about Persia. Oh no, what did... What did I miss? Arthur is a moderate rural folk, but neutral to women in citizenship with an imposing trait. Wait, did something get cut? Yeah, I don't see a comment you made about Persia. The rural folk positive trait is so good for the early game. I feel so thing is well designed. You have a reason to please them before industrializing. Yeah, yeah. I know. I need to go back and do Japan again. I want to do Japan like I'm gonna do Australia here, not focusing on any achievements. Kind of want to do that. The political wills and desires of the lower classes will always remain an opaque matter. For whatever reason, support for right to associate has spread like wildfire across New South Wales, spurred on by charismatic speakers and lively debates in small-time social clubs. Yes, we'll get some pop attraction to the labor movement. We don't mind that. We have a little bit more loyalists than radicals at the moment. Although, let me remind myself what these guys like. Yeah, they will help us get public health insurance. So, yeah, let's give them some pop attraction. All right, We're on to our last iron mine. It does take a little bit of time here to build, but as you can see, we're getting 1K in government dividends from it, so that's good. We're almost, in good timing, we're almost at a full cash reserves right before we turn on our construction sectors. So it's kind of a good timing on that. Find out what military tech does that makes your whole economy better in 1.13. Navy imposes trade advantage to bring the imports you want to you, and distort other economies to specialize your supplier. Yeah, I know. I love now that, like, the Navy side, I really care a lot about the Navy side of the tech tree because it's so tied to trade now. I do really love that change they made. Hey, MN Runner, hello, what's up? How are you? First one I remember was Colossal Cave on the deck PDP-11. First PC game I recall is Earl Weaver Baseball. Oh, wow. I don't even know that one, those, the deck PDP-11. Oh man, I'm gonna have to look that one up. I don't know that one. Sensing a chance to disadvantage their economic rivals in the cities, prominent members of the squattocracy have come out in favor of enacting right to associate. Let's see. Ooh. You get 20%, but we're giving a lot of political strength. Oh yeah, the squattocracy is about to become marginalized, so we can give them some political strength. I don't mind that. I suppose one of the first ones maybe I might have played was the Oregon Trail, because you played it in school. But I don't remember what the time period was. Did that as the U.S. Everyone was exporting crops and minerals to me, with my Navy floating around reminding them my plantations, not sovereign countries. Very nice. Okay. Gonna build gold mines in the North Island. I know how you are about gold mines. I am about gold mines. Did we, yeah, I don't think we got those gold mines yet. I think those are probably over here, right? Yeah. Wait, yeah. Oh. Yeah, we don't have enough. We have to, we have to continue, wait. Oh, insufficient resource quantity. Oh, are we gonna have to take the United Tribes in order to get these gold mines? Yeah. Now, I don't know when we federate Australia if they'll give us this at some point. Since this is on the North Island here. Oh, now we're getting foreign investment. Okay. Yeah, but either way, we can't actually build the gold mines yet. Oh, basically saying after Australia, you should try Persia is a perfect middle power for you. Things to do and custom content. We just need fully functional guerrilla wars, great wars, and more deep diplomacy and being a great player. Finally going to feel fulfilling. Yeah, no, I love a good Persia run. I did, I completed the Great Game objective with Persia. But yeah, I should do a stream with them. Because I do really love Persia. I'm actually thinking, oh, here we go. We're getting our construction sectors. When we go back to Crusader Kings, I'm going to do a Persia run. Because they have, just like we had with the Iberian struggle, they have a Persian struggle. So we'll definitely be doing some Persia and Crusader Kings once we're done with civilization. All right, so now construction is starting. So we're going to put taxes back to medium. All right. Oh, they're building us more iron, some vineyards. Ha! They're going to build shipyards on the North Island. Okay. So the next thing we're going to build, I would like... Basically what I want to do is another logging camp, a paper mill, and then some universities. Law progressive adoption, excellent. But I want to hold off, because I want to see if they add the logging camps themselves. So we won't add it to the queue, but that's what we're going to be looking at next. And apparently we can do, yeah, we can do the minerals company. The first company we're actually going to go for, though, is this William Sanford Limited. Because we'll be able to do iron and steel here, and this will give us some throughput in railways. But we're going to need to build 5 levels of steel mill. We're building 1. I think once we get the paper mill and the universities built, we'll then build the rest of those steel mills and get us a company. Yeah, I've been focusing on the Navy more in my recent runs, especially since I got the DLC and realized how much money you can get with piracy. Yeah, my plan right now is to use my Navy as Congo to make bank with piracy and harangue the European coastal colonies. Also want to do a Vietnam opium pirate stronghold run. Yeah, I know that's one thing I'm kind of disappointed in, that we start off as a recognized power. We can't do any piracy. But one thing we can do, once we build a navy, all these wars that Great Britain is starting, we don't have to send any soldiers, but we're going to use our navy for piracy then. Because as a recognized power, you can engage in piracy when in war. So that we are going to be doing some piracy in this run, but we don't actually have a navy yet. The wine produced in New South Welsh Victoria has been lauded by sommeliers as outstanding. That does remind me, though, after we build the universities... Ah, we have right to associate. There we go. We're actually going to get... a shipyards going, and then we'll get our company. All right, so we're hired up. So iron is kind of fine, but yeah, we do have highly expensive wood. Let's get this going. Oh, can we actually get those gold fields now? Yes, there we go. Give us those gold fields. Hire that up. Exactly what we need. Do you not have enough pops to build in the North Island? Now, you know what? I just realized... Normally, you can't build the gold mines until the gold fields are depleted. It's interesting that we saw gold mines, but not the gold fields. Because that's usually how it works. I forgot about that. So we have to wait for those gold fields to deplete, and then we can do the mines. Piracy feels kind of broken in the sense you can raid the coast all over the world and nobody goes to stop you. Yeah, it's funny. The only person I've ever had stop me are the British. And now we're part of them. So... Alright. So, it's good our investment pool has quite a lot. Because we're gonna be selling some buildings to them. Oh, I forgot to. We need to actually add... Oh, that's right. I wasn't going to add the railway because I wanted to see if the private sector will do it. Okay, so there's actually quite a few things we're going to add to this. In 21 months, we'll have nationalism, which is good, because then we can start federating Australia. Oh, how are we in colonization? We're moving along. Oh, we're also not passing anything. What am I doing? Right. Yeah, so we can't do public health yet. What's the best thing for us to go for next? Protectionism. Get off of mercantilism. Although we're not really going to be importing stuff all that much. We're in the British market. I suppose we'll go universal suffrage. Get some voting laws going. What company you're going to start with? We're going to start with the Australia Historical Company here, William Sanford Limited, because we can do iron and steel. It'll give us a prestige steel, and then we'll get a throughput to the railways, which is nice because it basically it'll give us more infrastructure for less railways. So we might not have to need to build as many over time. I'm starting to think military tech is the way to go as a small country. Yeah, if you become a subject, yeah, get the Americans to pay for your glory, then betray them if you stay independent, conquer. No, it definitely is. Especially if you're a small, even if you're a small country and not a subject. The power projection sometimes will really help you get, like, your support independence stuff. Deck PDP 11s are from, oh, the time of punch cards, COBOL, yeah, and Fortran were the programming language. I'm old. Oh my god, yeah. I know of the... let's see. Da-da-da. Oh, hey! Radical Anarchist. Oh, thank you for the super thanks. You know, it's funny. It showed the super thanks, and it was like, wait, why am I getting a comment in the center of the screen? It took me a second to realize what's going on. Thank you, my friend. Oh, that is so awesome of you. You mentioned a while back that Paradox doesn't give you kickbacks, but they should. I wouldn't have been able to pick the game up nearly as quickly without your tutorials. Thanks for doing what you do. Oh, thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the super thanks. That's so awesome of you. That makes my night right there. For a day that was filled with angst, I appreciate you ending my day on a very good note. Thank you, my friend. Proponents of the universal suffrage reform have called attention to past abuses of power by the current regime as a reason for why this change is urgently needed. Oh no, people won't like William Bland? Or Richard Burke. Yeah, we'll take the 20% enactment success chance. Oh, we can negotiate with the rural folk, and they're very, very amenable. William Bland has agreed to a private meeting, clearly seeking a path that will benefit both the nation and the rural folks' interests over universal suffrage. Yeah, so we get some government expenses. Oh, speaking of which, okay, I need to keep an eye on this. Oh god, I mean, this isn't so bad. We build one stable crop. The only thing that sucks is we'll get private construction contract. Oh, for 2 years. Oh, that's right, because they're very amenable. When they're not, it's 10 years. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll build one, like, farm. Private construction contract sucks, but only 2 years of it is not so bad. Sometimes it's like 5 or 10 years. All right, we'll do this. I call it midget supremacy. I remember learning COBOL. Yeah, that was so useful. Yeah. I never ended up having to learn that. When I started learning programming, it was uh the first language I learned was BASIC. That's what I started on, and then eventually moved on to C++. I think BASIC was the one right after COBOL. Charge the Bengula toll. Here we go. Oh, minus 50% cost for nationalization. That's not bad. Alright. Being unrecognized feels now like, wait, guys, don't take me seriously like a sovereign country yet. I need money. Bizarre things only happen in Paradox games. It is kind of like that. Like, no, 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 don't look at me like a serious country just yet. Look the other way. So I get all my Monet. Speaking of Monet, yeah, let's pause for a second. Gold fields are hired up, right? Yep. Alright, let's... Yeah, taxes are not going to give us much. Lucky, we only have a 9.9% interest rate. Like, we're below 10%, so that's not so bad. We have a lot in the investment pool, so... Let's sell some urban buildings so that our industrialists hit the board. So we'll put that for sale. And then we'll sell the logging camp. I don't want to sell the iron mines because we want to give that to the company eventually. There we go. So we just sold the cotton plantation and the tooling workshop. So I don't want that to be like for sale every level I ever build. So we'll take that back off. But we just bought ourselves some time, so that's good. I planned on doing it once I got the DLCs. That was right around the time the cup started. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then all my streaming schedule got all haywire. Oh, gotta head out. Getting up at 5 a.m. Oof. See y'all Thursday. Yeah, J-Makers, good to see you as always, my friend. Yeah, get some sleep. That is an early rise right there. I do not envy you. But thanks for hanging out tonight. I'll see you on Thursday. Oh, we almost got our steel mill done. Excellent. Yeah, I want to try taking some of the straits. I just haven't gotten that far into a game with an unrecognized country. Yeah. You're planning on being independent, right? Yep. Yeah, so we will eventually go for independence. We don't want to yet because once we get nationalism, it'll activate the Federate Australia journal entry, and through that, Great Britain will just give us the other subjects in Australia here. Once we get all of those, then we'll start pursuing independence. All right, so we got the steel mill, which is good. All right. Oh, so, okay, so they're going to privatize the logging camp. Yeah, that's the last thing up for sale, because I want them to be adding to the private queue here. Agents of the Industrialists have founded a national organization dedicated to uniting the radical movement under a national leadership. All right, that's good. Yeah, we'll take them. Yeah, I took a assembly in college. I remember my professor saying there's actually some pretty good jobs if you know the old languages, since they need people to maintain old databases. Having the bigger market does help prevent some of the big market swings in the beginning when you first start industrializing. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. Oh my God. I remember when I was in college and I was still studying computer science. I remember taking a class in assembly language. This was by far one of the weirdest experiences I had in a class. Um, the first half of the semester, I was just not getting it. I was just not getting it. And the way the professor had structured the class, it was something like there's a couple of tests and then a big midterm, and then in the second half of the semester, a couple of tests and then a big final. We got general staff, that's good. And I remember the first half, I was just not getting it. And then I took the midterm, and I got a really bad grade on the midterm, something like a D. So I remember sitting in my dorm room like, I just got to figure this out. And I spent like a whole weekend just sitting down and reading over all my notes. And this is what the weirdest thing, it suddenly just clicked. The whole thing just clicked. I ended up acing every test for the rest of the semester. I did the extra credit and ended up getting a really good grade. And I remember the professor at the end of the class was like, what happened this semester? And I told him exactly what I just said. I feel like he had this look on his face like he didn't really believe it. I was like, I don't know. It just finally clicked. So, yeah, assembly language is a very strange thing to me. All right, okay, I need to build some logging camps. I'm not going to wait for the private sector anymore. Where else can I build them? Is the British market actually that bad on wood? Yeah. Yeah, so we'll build one here. Oh, damn it. We're over our infrastructure, so we're cut from the British market a lot. Okay. Whoopsie. Kind of forgot about that. So we'll do the railway. You know what? We'll do the logging first, because that'll only take 11 weeks. Then we'll build the railway. And then I'll take the logging camp out of there. Don't forget, preparing your market to not crash when you leave the British market. Yeah. Yeah. We are a little bit of ways off of breaking away from Great Britain, though, so... Yeah, we do have some time to prepare ourselves. Oh. We got an earthquake going. Oh, an intensity of 2.4? We don't even get out of bed for that. We're Californians. Not a lot of trees in Oz, apparently. Yeah, I know. What about all of these guys here? I mean, yeah, when you get more central. Yikesy. We got some trees over here. No, I totally get that. I did comp sci in college for a couple of years until the pandemic started, then left. Afterwards, I went to them later, taught at a coding boot camp, and I feel like I learned a lot more doing that than I did in college. It was too dense in college. Yeah, I told my boot camp students that I appreciated it more like teaching someone how to use tools in a workshop. Yeah, I always say that. As a teacher myself, I'm a big advocate that teaching actually helps you learn a lot more about the thing you're teaching. So I say to people sometimes, like, if you're trying to learn how to do something, you know, try to explain how to do it to someone. Not just in your head, but, like, say it out loud. And that will help. Once you put things into words, they start to make a little bit more sense. I don't want to sell the steel mill because we're saving that for a company. Now, the other thing is, you know, putting stuff up for sale I need the private sector to split this construction cost with me. So we'll wait until we get something in the private queue. Oh, and we're at adoption here, so that's good. I really saw through the code, so to speak. Yeah, I saw that everything you're doing in programming is just different ways of manipulating data. Yeah. I really loved computer programming back in the day. I did it before college, just like as a hobby. Which is why like my first 2 semesters of college were, well, I was going to say my first 2 semesters of college were pretty easy. I shouldn't say that. All of my non-computer science classes were a little difficult. My computer science classes were easy. Ah, yes, here we go. Federate Australia. The Australian people would be best served by unifying the petty provincial governments into a single nation. We must work with lesser administrations as well as the colonial office to propose the annexation of our neighbors, and we can do it now, so let's do it. The ink had not even dried on the Bill of Unification before the bureaucrats and politicians set to work on integrating Van Diemen's Land. With the blessing of Queen Victoria of Hanover, we are one step closer towards the Federation of Australia. God save the Queen, indeed. All right. So, they just gave us this land over here. We have Tasmania, and it's incorporated. We don't even need to do that. So we get building throughput on hardwood. So let's get some hardwood from them. Damn, we are starting to dip into debt, though. All right, we're gonna... all right. We'll do some taxes here. We'll tax opium. Put taxes a little high. I want to wait until they get enough funding for this fishing wharf, because if we can split the construction cost, our budget won't be so bad. Oh, hey, Chris Shepard. Hello, hello. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Yeah, yeah. Oi, 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 indeed. Hello, hello. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Gods, yeah. I've been a lifelong autodidact, and I really appreciate living in an age where there's so many good education resources freely available, but nothing has ever had as much impact on my learning as much as teaching it did. Really helped me understand what to look for when I'm starting something new. Yeah, how to suss out good resources and how to really hit that sweet spot. Yes, exactly, right? Oh, it's such a good way. The best way to learn something is to teach it and then hear other people's perspectives on it. Consumption taxes. Yeah. Yeah, we're there. We're going to have to do that now until... Oh, God. They switched what they were going to do. Well, they're going to build us some paper mills. Oh. We got Central Archives. So that's good. We still have this going, which is fine. We have 5% tax waste, so not so much. Yeah, see, this is the thing. The biggest... We're paying 2.58K in payments to Great Britain. How are we doing? Gotta love playing Straya. Oh, Straya. It took me a second. I'm like, Straya? What's Straya? Australia. Straya. Yeah. I haven't done an Australia run in. I don't think I've ever done a full Australia run. But I was saying at the beginning of the stream, you know, they updated the map in the last update, so now is a good time to give it a run. All right, anything else we can do in terms of production methods here? No. Okay. What are you subsidizing? Oh yeah, what are we subsidizing? Oh, the port. The port. Yeah, well, we'll keep that subsidy. I'm Aussie, so needless to say, it's my usual country to play. Oh, very nice. Oh, awesome. Well, welcome, welcome. Good to have an Australian watching. Very, very cool. Yeah, I'm excited for this run. I've pushed off doing an Australia run for so long. And then in the lead up to 1.13, when they were like, we're updating the Australian map, I was like, now is the time. Now is the time. Yeah, not a lot to cut in the budget. This is true. One thing that is benefiting us, though, is that we have a very, very low interest rate. So we can actually afford to take on some debt at the moment. But look at us too. We're also ranked 19th right now. Yeah, foreign investment 3. So now people can build. Here we go. All right, so we got elections going. Early returns. The Conservative Party. Well, who do we... Before we read through this, what's the next law we really want to go for? Oh, the trade unions aren't in a party. All right, you know what? We're not going to interfere in the election. Election season has begun in New South Wales, and with it, the strategizing of the government's fixers. If we wish, we may wield the power of the state to ensure a favorable result. We'll let things lie where they lie. I'm going to start homeschooling one of my kiddos. Oh, nice. And do supplemental with the other. I'm excited to apply some of what I've learned about teaching to that. Oh, nice, nice. That'll be interesting. I've also been planning on trying to start streaming when I can. I just have some ducks to get in a row first. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I can't wait. You got to let me know when you start. You will have a subscriber, my friend. John Plunkett, the methodical leader of the intelligentsia, has been studiously working to increase the nation's credit. At last, all his work has paid off, but for the intelligentsia or for New South Wales? Oh, yes. We definitely want to take this. Minus 1% loan interest rate. We will take that. So let's see where that puts us. Now, I forgot. The other thing we're going to do here is we're going to request a new governor. Deeming Governor Barnard's handling of New South Welsh affairs inadequate, the political establishment of Sydney has requested that Great Britain appoint a new governor more aligned with its objectives. So basically, we can take a governor aligned with certain interest groups. So this guy, yeah, we get benefits to ranches and stuff. The intelligentsia helps us with radicals and loyalists. The industrialist one, the plus 10% colony growth speed is always nice. But what we could really use is the petit bourgeoisie one, prominent businessman. So we get plus 5% state construction efficiency, supply ships construction efficiency, but also minus 10% in the loan interest rate. So we will take Zachary Lambert. And so let's wait for the week updates. Woof, look at that. So, oh good, so they're building something. So now, not quite an even split. Yeah, it'll really help if we get a paper mill going. I suppose I should cut the subsidy for the port. We could just go to Anchorage. And cut the subsidy. There we go. Is it possible to start as one of the Australian natives in this patch? Yes. Where are they? There's one. Yeah, so this is one of them. You do still start as a British subject. But you could start as Kurna. And over in New Zealand, you can always start as the United Tribes. Not Australia, but you can do the United Tribes. But what's this? Yeah, that's decentralized. But yeah, over here you do have this one. Oh, we are at the 2-hour mark. So it's time to pay homage to the gods of ads here. So that we don't have to watch ads during gameplay. So we're going to take a quick 90-second break, and then we will be right back. All right, and we're back, let me catch up on chat a little bit here. Australia was a lot easier before the map update, yeah, but I like the accuracy of having to seriously colonize all nations. Yeah, you used to start with a lot more owned land, which I think makes things a little easier at the start. Now, yeah, a little bit more difficult. Can always ask the Brits to pay off your debts. Will they? Doubtful. But you can ask. Yeah, I don't think they will. Yeah. They're the ones causing us to be in debt. They're like, pay off your debt. I wouldn't take that money. I wouldn't take that amount of debt. Like, please. It's because of you I have this debt. Does being a subject affect your interest rate? I don't believe so. I don't think so. Yeah, no. Now, it does in the sense that we were able to get this this leader, and it gives them this prominent businessman because we are a colony. I guess that's not so much being a subject, that's because we're a colony. But no, it doesn't. But we do benefit from, like, starting off with a lot of prestige because we're in the British market, and that does help us out a little bit. But being a subject directly doesn't, no. Be careful. Those people in the Northern Territory like to kick off, and I don't think you can send the army over land routes initially. Oh, yeah, no, we are kind of... We do... You basically have to, like, go around this middle portion here. Really? So we're going to have some issues over here? I could always send in some... 26%, yeah. Could always do violent suppression there, if need be. I'd eventually like to do something like video essays or podcasting, but game streaming seems like a lower stakes way to cut my teeth into it. Yeah, just give it a try, right? Just dive in. There's not really any right or wrong way to do it. Finally, that plan event is with a good IG. I've seen only the landowners getting it. Oh, haha. Yeah, and for us, you mean the squatocracy. Thanks, I appreciate that. I'm trying to find a good way. It's scheduled. I basically function in a different time zone since I work second shift, and I've decided to try to lean into that. Oh, yeah. Well, the good thing about streaming is that there's always somebody on watching. It's kind of what I found. I'm going to try to do some during normal evening hours on the weekend, but we'll probably do a late night stream during the week. Or I guess I could potentially do a morning stream during the week. You know, you could play as Native Tribes. That's dope. Yeah, over in this part of the world you can. Yeah, you know, I would like to do a weekend stream at some point. I feel like there's more people, like, watching in general. I mean, like, watching Twitch in general on the weekends. I just can't do it because I have kids. So I do it during the week. I basically stream and they're either not home or asleep. Bruce Cowhig intends to travel across North-South Wales, or New South Wales, by train to campaign for the Conservative Party. Yeah, I guess we'll just do this. Because the Conservative Party is going to win this first election no matter what, so... Oh, did we... Oh, we finished building the railway, right? Right? Okay. So this should start hiring up. This will connect us back... to... This will connect us back to the British market. Now let's make it profitable. Yeah, this is going to add too much. Yeah, here we go. We'll do this. Perfect. And so now... Excellent. Now they're profitable. And we are back. We're back in the market. So the budget's taking a turn again. Oh, yeah, because they're not building anything. We really do need to get more money going into the investment pool here. Is there a way to push away from the Brits? I'm fairly new, but I've been thinking I should bail out from them. So when we start making the turn towards wanting to go for independence, I find the most reliable ways to do it are, one, obviously size of the military. So your army power projection will change things considerably, but also the economic dependence here is a big one. Like, we're getting negative 0.2 because of that. So you look here, you look at what are the unfulfilled buy orders that are being filled by Great Britain, and then you just go down the list. So we would build coal, tools, furniture. And then you also look at, well, what are we fulfilling in the British market? Iron and steel are a big one, which is why when we get our company, that'll be a big one. And so overturning this economic dependence, I always find to be a big way to get your liberty desire to go up. And then you always just keep an eye out for, like, requesting stuff that they don't want to give, like support regime. Now, they would accept this one, so we wouldn't want to do it. But anytime you request one of these things, yeah, and they say no, it'll raise your liberty desire up. And then as you build up your military, you can eventually get the support independence treaty from other countries. With the recent investment in New South Wales, the raw goods industry has resulted in a positive balance for the logging camps there. Interest groups are quick to try to claim credit for this investment. Oh, yes. If we can get... Oh, yeah. Here's one thing that's actually kind of hurting us right now. I didn't realize, too, the industrialists are being led by an authoritarian. Ah, John Frost. We get John Frost in business there. Oh, this guy who left us. Let's see what John Frost has. Okay. Fortunately, no industrialists, which kind of sucks. What's the head of the intelligentsia? Reformer. We could get the petite bourgeoisie out of the Conservative Party if we bring this guy in. Casimira Olenetta. So let's bring this guy in. So we can give him leadership now. But we'll wait a moment. I would like to get protectionism as our trade policy. So we could use that for now. Yeah, you mentioned you have a decent interest rate. I wasn't sure why. I forgot they start with some good, decent prestige. Yeah, because of the prestige we start with, that's basically why we have that. Can you build a military unit in northern Australia? You need to build your army anyway. I mean, we could. It's not, I don't think it would do much for us at the moment, though. When invited to give a speech on behalf of the Conservative Party, Casimira Olenetta began extolling the virtues of a strong home, strong borders, and strong men. The public reception was mixed. We don't want him to lose popularity. The party could lose momentum, but It's not going to do anything, so we might as well just take that for now. Your soul is dropping, not too much yet, but you might want to keep an eye on it. Yeah, that's mainly because if you look, we're continuing to get peasants coming in, and we're also continuing to get new land. We also got an influx of people here that are below their soul, so we do have to work on that. We do have to, yeah, we have to grow the army here, but we need to finish this stuff first. Is there a way to control who the exec of a company is? No, not at the moment. I feel like they've hinted at in the future you might have some control over that, but no, at the moment you don't. Hey, TC Armored, hello, hello. How are you? Good to see you. Is there much going on in the middle of Australia today, or is it a coastal country? Well, we just started. We're only in 1845, so right now we're all just coastal. We haven't gotten to the center yet. How are you doing? Well, your government is not well liked. Oh, that's because we just passed a voting law. Whenever you first pass the voting law, you don't have any government legitimacy, because legitimacy is based on votes, and there hasn't been an election, so nobody has votes. So you always have that short period of time where you have no legitimacy right after you pass a voting law. But election just finished. Conservative Party won. So if we throw the Agrarian Party in, we have a righteous government, which is nice. So we'll take that. And now we'll use this new party. Go for protectionism, because once we're done with that, we'll get that agitator as the new head of the petite bourgeoisie. Haven't really paid much attention to the development of Australia, to be honest. Yeah, I started a new run here in Australia because in 1.13 they updated the map. And so you start with a lot less territory. You have to do a lot more colonizing. Yeah, see, this is a time when... Oh, we have Bessemer process. I wish we had some ships. So I could start pirating. So we almost have our motor industry. I really need these guys. Oh, they're going to privatize. Damn it. Okay. Dude's over here trying to pitch make Australia great again. Yeah, I know, right? I do always think about that too whenever that event pops up. All right. Let's see. Yes. You know, and I always forget to add 2 more of these, because this is our cash crop, iron. In the midst of the debate surrounding protectionism, one of the country's leading playwrights strongly associated with the petite bourgeoisie has staged a widely acclaimed play whose politically laden theme makes no secret of the author's desire for the law to be passed. So we'll do that. So now we're doing the coal. We'll do 2 more iron mines. All right, good. So we have the 2 logging camps. Give us a paper mill. 2 universities. Oh, we'll wait on the wheat farm because the private sector might do it. And then I think, you know... Alright, I think we can get this promise situated early. This goes quickly. We'll build these 2 barracks. That might get us everything we need. And then we'll continue with everything else. Ah, yes, now we can build gold mines. Gold has been discovered in New South Wales. Oh my god. Gold has been discovered in New South Welsh North Island. People from all corners of the earth are converging there, confident that they will discover the next great lode and become incredibly rich. So migration attraction or... Oh, we get gold fields throughput, though. Not gold mines. In the North Island. Oh, I thought the fields are depleted, though. Well, either way, we get some throughput to it. The war with Japan is underway. We are not getting involved in. Britain has a busted petite bourgeoisie because their second positive trait is 15% less interest rate, 5% more than normal, and doubled if they are powerful. Only thing Britain is so strong by default. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't remember what all of their stuff is. Hey, we're getting a mass migration already. Here we go. Yeah. What I would really like... Oh, the industrialists are off the board at the moment. Okay. There's a lot of mining in the center of Australia. There's also a stack of farming in real life. Oh, interesting. Law progress to amendment. Yeah, our capital, Canberra, is also inland. Yeah, isn't Canberra the midpoint between Sydney and Melbourne? I hate it when sometimes they take the names of stuff, but I believe this is Melbourne here. Yeah, it's like the midpoint, right? Alright, commit the army, or enlarge the army. Very nice. They're now happy. Everybody join the new government. Not you, intelligentsia, stay there. Yeah, I know, right? That's basically what we did there. A minority group of North German has recently settled in the state of New South Welsh North Island, seeking a better future. However, the local Australian elites are stirring up resentment, claiming the North German newcomers will destroy the traditional way of life. So, how many North German pops did we actually end up getting? 3.5k. As opposed to 20% of Australian upper class. 1.73k. Yeah, I'd rather take this. Get their acceptance up. It feels like it shouldn't apply the voting-based legitimacy until after the first election. Maybe a good mod change. Yeah, I bet it. I am sure there is a mod for that. I would bet money on it. Don't forget you can use lifting tariffs as a bargain in treaties with protectionism and subventions too, I think. Well, no, unfortunately I can't as a subject because I have no control over tariffs or subventions as a subject. This afternoon, William Bland, leader of the rural folk, delivered a fiery speech advocating for the enactment of protectionism. Yeah, we'll take this. We'll give him some popularity. He's kind of disliked. We don't mind him. And we're already at 71%, so we'll take that. Yeah, Britain, I hate Japan. Always in this game, right? I need to learn more about the geography of Australia. I remember hearing an interview a while back about how there was a program integrating indigenous land management practices. Interesting, yeah, interesting. Yeah, usually I like to do a little bit of a dive into the history of a nation before I start a new run, but unfortunately because of the World Cup, I wasn't able to do it for this one. Oh, hey, Opera Talks, hello, hello. What are the good parts of protectionism? I am new to the game and really learn a lot from your tutorials and series. Ah, thank you. Oh, I'm glad they're helpful. Yeah, with protectionism, the thing that's nice about protectionism is a lot of times you start on mercantilism. Mercantilism isn't a bad law. The problem is you get negative 25% trade advantage on imports. You do get plus 25% trade advantage on exports, but that hit to trade advantage on imports kind of hurts when you are a nation that is going to need to import stuff. We aren't at the moment because we're in the British market. So I'm changing this law right now, thinking more towards when we become independent. And the fact that our petite bourgeoisie is led by a protectionist, so it's kind of easy to get protectionism right now. So protectionism is a good law if you're a country that needs to import things. If you're a country that has pretty much everything you need, and you really just need to export stuff, mercantilism is the better law. And then free trade gives you trade advantage on both imports and exports. You can no longer tariff things. So you kind of lose a little bit of control over your market. But protectionism is good because you no longer get negative 25% trade advantage on imports. I've always struggled with geography and always kind of thought the central area of Australia was just even more inhospitable than the rest of it. That's what I've always thought. I've always thought the central part of Australia is all pretty much desert, right? Isn't that true? Yeah, that's what I thought. It's all like desert. What's in the private queue? Nothing at the moment. That's why we're hurting here. A well-acclaimed troupe of wandering artists has arrived in New South Wales, followed by hundreds of requests about our generous government funding one of their concerts. We don't really care about prestige right now. So I'd rather take this and not get the government expenses. Do you get the tariffs / pay the subventions as a subject? Does the overlord have to handle that? Well, so the overlord handles the tariffs. The tariffs are applied at the trade center. We have nothing going on in the trade center at the moment, but the tariffs are applied here. So when you see like the list of expenses, you'll see an item here for tariffs that had to be paid. So basically it makes the trade center less profitable. And then the subventions, yeah, we would pay the subvention on whatever the trade is that's happening here. I believe, actually, I gotta double check about subventions. Yeah, which government pays the subvention, me or the British? It's a good question. I think it's, I would think it's me, but I'm not entirely sure. The recently translated works of Wyndham McAfee have become popular within the Protestant traditionalist movement. The relationship has developed to the point of William McFree openly endorsing the movement. You know, I didn't double check our society, our cultures and religions tab before we started. So we're Australian, British, Anglophone. Our religion is Protestant. We're 82% Protestant. So, yeah, freedom of conscience works well for us. Law progressed to voting. Never mind. Yeah, gone now. Check your weekly budget. Should be in the expenses. Well, yeah, no, it won't be. We're not paying any right now, but that's mainly because we have nothing going in and out of our trade center. I could subsidize this trade center to get it hired up, but I don't really need to, and I don't want to add the expense at the moment. Thank you a lot. I usually go for very safe runs because I'm afraid a change in laws will collapse everything. Sometimes it can. I mean, you're not wrong. Sometimes a change in law can really collapse things. But sometimes they can really save things. Like, especially like when you get better taxation laws. Like, actually, yeah, we're kind of at a point here where we should probably start going for proportional taxation. Members of the British Loyalists Association are greatly impressed by the advancements Great Britain have made in medicine. With urgency, they seek to model the British approach to medical innovation. Oh. Ah, man. Okay, so we could take on some expenses, but we'll get progress toward pharmaceuticals. Yeah, it's worth it. We'll take that. No, yeah, I really could use this. To be honest with you, I could also really use, like, just a regular shipyard here. Ooh. So we got a pretty decent-sized earthquake. Oh, no we didn't. Well, not here. Oh! We got militarized industry. Well, that's not bad. Plus 10% shipyards building throughput. The trick seems to be learning when certain laws are beneficial in certain contexts and what you need to have prepared for them. Hey, we got protectionism. Oh! Hey, replace the lamp. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. Awesome username, too. I love it. Replace the lamp. Thank you for the follow. I very much appreciate that. Welcome in. Welcome. The game is like managing a lot of interconnected spinning plates. It really is. The thing I love about the game is, for most of the laws, none of them are absolutely terrible. They all are just good for certain situations and very bad in other situations. So, oh, speaking of which, we gotta figure out what we're gonna do next. Hey, potatoes love lettuce. Hello, hello, hello again, Ham. How have you been? Love a good Australia game. Yes, I know. I've yet to do a full Australia run, so I was excited to start this series, and we're right at the beginning. How are you? Good to see you. Hey, replace the lamp. Hello, hello. Yeah. Welcome in. We could go after our Navy law at this point. We don't really want to be on a merchant Navy. We could use Capital Fleet, but it's not urgent. Oh, although, yeah, so what we can do is now make this guy the head of our petite bourgeoisie. We're on a cooldown for inviting people for another 4 years. We really could use a health system. I'm holding off, though, because soon we're going to be going for pharmaceuticals. And then we can do public health. Although I guess, the labor movement might help us with that. You know what we could do? No. Yeah, let's hold off on that. We have propertied women. I wouldn't mind going for this, but we need the trade unions in there. They are marginalized. Censorship is making us lose tech spread. So we could go right of assembly. That's probably the best option for right now. We need the intelligentsia for this. So for this, we'll wait for the next election cycle and try to get the intelligentsia to win it. So for now, yeah, let's go right of assembly. Place the lamp. I am doing good. Ah, nice. Good to hear. Good to hear. Welcome in. Can you build your company yet? Or are you waiting for something? I have to build 4 more levels of steel mill in order to get it. And there's just a couple things we really do need to build beforehand. Good. Haven't played since they changed it. So you have to colonize the whole country, basically. Yeah. Yeah, for Australia here. Well, you got to colonize the whole country, but you have this Federate Australia thing, and so as long as you keep good relations with Great Britain will give you the other colonies here, so you can get all of the other controlled land, but you do have to start colonizing inward. Hey, somebody 1DK. Hey, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. How are you? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. How are you doing? One of the things that helped me a lot was getting comfortable with not being too precious to any particular run. Yeah, it's a lot of managing consequences, especially as they accumulate over time. Yeah, don't be afraid to just have everything go haywire. Yeah, hey, somebody. Hello. Still on religious schools. Can you not switch that out yet? No, I don't. Oh, yeah, that is actually. You know, I kind of assumed we needed to wait for the intelligentsia. But I forgot now the petite bourgeoisie will do that. So that's what we'll do next. Yeah, I probably should have gone for that. But we'll finish this for now. A group of students attending the University in New South Wales have arranged a demonstration in support of the labor movement. The display has inspired other students to join the cause. Yeah, we'll give pop attraction to the labor movement. We'll get a hit to university building throughput for 2 years, which is fine for us because we don't have any yet. They're coming. I'm good. How are you? How's the run going? Run's going good. I'm doing good. It's a fresh new run we just started. So we're doing okay so far. I wouldn't like to be in this much debt yet, but our interest rate's only 6%, so we're kind of okay. A pamphlet in favor of right of assembly has been circulated illegally across most of our major cities. So the liberal and radical movement could get pop attraction here. Yeah, we'll definitely take that. Knowing when to start building out your navy and military to not either break the bank or get caught off guard by an attack from another country. I did runs where I straight up just ignored parts, tried to go figure out one or two things, and I'd dump the run and start over. Yeah, I do that quite a bit, actually. For reference, I'm about 250 hours into playing. I've only completed one full century run because the first 100+ hours was just experimenting with the with the mechanic. Yeah, it's kind of what I do too. It can be a bit daunting since you put so much in the run, but it really pays off in subsequent runs. Yeah, agreed. Thank you. At the moment, I'm trying to play Cape Colony, but I don't get used to being in a great power market because I don't know what to build first. Yeah, if you're the Cape Colony, you're in the British market. One of the best things to build are iron mines, because iron is so bad in the British market. And so, like, if you look at our iron mines here, we're making tons of money off of it because even though we have a major surplus of iron, they have such a deficit of iron in the British market that it's still kind of expensive here. So to be quite honest, God, I should just be building out like 13 levels of iron mine here. But paper also sucks in the market. And yeah, we're spending about 500 pounds on paper, so we could use our own paper mill. Yeah, we're just not getting... Yeah, what is really killing us is our private sector not building. They're almost there. They're almost there. Honestly, I also need to lower the taxes, because that's killing our people. Oh, we got water tube boiler. Excellent. You can now get more iron going. Might as well move your shipyard up in the cube for the university since unis are getting a malice for now. Oh, actually, you know, it's not a bad idea. Yeah, it's actually a good point. Might as well hold off on them. Should I focus on my exploitation of resources or building for the market? I would say, because you start off as a subject, the first thing you should build is building for the market, profitable buildings. Like, the thing that kills you the most as a subject is your payments to your overlord. We're paying 3K to Great Britain right now, so you need to cover that. So first thing you need to do is build stuff that's going to make you money. And so that's why at the very beginning of the run, we started off with like 5 iron mines, because I knew it was going to be the most profitable thing for us. All right, law progressed to amendment. That's good. Oh, and then the iron mines, we can now switch to this. Oof, look at that. That gave us a lot. Excellent. All right, we'll do that in the coal mines as well. Oh, I forget that, yeah, coal is also pretty expensive in the British market. One of the things I focus, I used to teach my coding students was to focus first on getting their program to work, then start figuring out how to break it. Yeah, helps you find the edges you can smooth out. I like that analogy for this. Yeah, that is a good way to think about your run. Get the economy working first, then figure out how to go crazy with it. I started a Russia campaign a few days ago. Still need to continue that. Yeah, I want to do a Russia run before the DLC comes out. You just reminded me of that. Oh, hey, LaPlace. What's up? What's up? How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. I love this game, especially when playing with mods. Yeah, I need to explore mods a little bit more. I generally don't play with mods. But I do have... Oh, nice. Another mass migration. When DLCs are about to come out, I do what I call a mod cuts run. But it's usually I try out like a total conversion type of mod. I need to dive into the mods a little bit more. Law advancement, very nice. Losing match and start to spam GDP and military spending. Such a loser comeback against Belgium. Yeah, it was a bad game yesterday. What's the next DLC? I can't remember which one is first. So one of them is going to be focused on Russia, and then the other one's going to be focused on China. I think the Russia one comes first. But I don't think that one's coming till like September. Could be wrong though. Nice. Okay, so we finally have the private sector building, and now we have a positive balance. So hopefully we can catch up on some debt. Is it easier to get employees in mines since Aussies are still convicts at the time? So we're used to it. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. In the game, everybody starts as a peasant. But we're still getting a steady stream of migration from all around the British Empire. So we go to bulk trading in the trade center, though there's not really much of a reason to do that yet. So you don't have to deal with as much Euro aggression, and you have most of the resources you need when you start colonizing. Oh, and I missed Congo really is one of the best countries to start with, yes. Especially now that it's 2 states that start. The 2 states help balance PM shifts, yeah, and divisions between basic and luxury goods. It's in malaria territory, so you don't have to deal with as much Euro aggression. And you have most of the resources you need when you start colonizing. Yeah. Sulfur is one of the only ones you need to really go find. Yeah, I know. That's why I say it's like the best starter country, the best learner country. I love Congo for that reason. I should do another Congo run. It's been a while. A story's been making the rounds about a miner who struck it rich and became the wealthiest man in his town. People in New South Welsh North Island are beginning to live beyond their means, convinced they'll all become rich soon enough. So the North Island, everyone will get an increase in standard of living. We don't mind that. Yeah, we'll take that. Maybe don't build the shipyard because your private sector is building it, or am I seeing it wrong? No, yeah, the private sector is building one. The problem is, they're building it over... Oh, you know, hold on, they're building it over here. I thought they were building it on the North Island. I was thinking, oh, they're building it in a place where I'm not going to have good input goods for it. But actually, this isn't such a bad place. See, I don't think I'm going to be able to make the shipyard here that profitable to begin with. So I'd rather have one also in our main state over here. Though, yeah, I didn't realize it was over here. Yeah, I think we will take that off. I thought they were building it on the North Island. I think that's fine. We'll do that. So we'll build the paper. We'll build the universities. Oh, and then what we're going to do is we'll build the other steel mills. Steel is also very profitable. So we'll build all 4 of these. We'll make some money as they hire up, and then we'll get our company. Oh, how'd you go from 20 nation to rank 60? Yeah, I don't know what happened there. How did we bounce like that? Huh. Your world power ranking has tanked. Is this bad for you? If yes, how? It's not really bad for us. I mean, we're still a subject of the British, so... Oh, we have rate of assembly. Nice. I'm not really too concerned with our rank at the moment, especially while we're still a subject of the British. Once we need to break free of the British, this will be more important, but... To be honest with you, I was surprised we were up at 19th. I suppose it does make a difference in terms of our interest rate, but our interest rate is just so damn low right now. Oh, hey, the Warrior UN. Hello, hello. How's it going so far? Good, good. Good to see you. Change PM for steel. Oh, yeah, that's right. We have the Bessemer process, right? Coal, less coal, more iron. Yeah, yeah. Let's do that. Give us more money. Back off Australia. Everyone being a temporarily embarrassed millionaire in America's racket. No doubt. Anachronist. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's okay. We'll be okay. So we'll get these paper mills. This paper mill. That'll also make our government admin cost a little bit less. Ah, minus 15% military goods cost. That's good for us. So income went up a little bit there. We also, you know, eventually we need our own small arms and artillery factory. I think right now he has a minor power, so it isn't really important, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's not as important right now. Eventually, it'll make it... When we need to start breaking free from the British, it'll make more of a difference because we're going to need to get some, like, support... what do you call it? Support independence treaties. Oh, nice. Modern sewage. So it'll make a lot more difference then. Yeah, 5% is crazy low for a minor power. Yeah. What are your laws looking like? Oh, yeah, thank you. We need to go to public schools. I almost forgot. Let's do that. When is our next election? In about 2 years. Perfect. So we'll finish the schools. The petite bourgeoisie will break out of the Conservative Party. We'll get the petite bourgeoisie, the rural folk, and the trade unions. We're still on a cooldown for another 3 years with those guys. All right. Oh, and how long until we get Federate Australia again? Oh, okay. What are we missing here? Have at least amicable relations and greater GDP than a neighboring... Oh, and at peace. We're not at peace. So... amicable. What's our relations here? Amicable. Have at least amicable relations and greater GDP than a neighboring Australian or Maori country with the same overlord. Well, their GDP is what? 83k. We're at 2 million. Interesting. But we can't do it till this war is done yet anyway, so I guess we'll wait until then. About ready to expand your construction sectors? Possibly. Honestly, I would really like to lower... Well... I guess we have such a low interest rate. Oh, investment pool's up to 146k, so we actually... We might be able to now. Ah, yes, here we go. A low-born man has risen as the popular leader of the intelligentsia, with some not so pleased by such social mobility. I hope we get a radical... Let me double-check, though. What's this guy giving them? So he's giving them 5% political strength and pop attraction. And some pop attraction. He's a reformer. We don't mind him. If we get a radical, we'll join the new party. Oh, they now tell you who it's going to be. Look at this. A market liberal. Eh. I don't want to lose pop attraction, though. Alright. We'll take it. Oops. Because I don't want them to lose pop attraction. Debt spending as a minor power in 1848 feels wild. I know, right? Oddly, it's working for us at the moment. Though I do need to complete construction, add construction if we're really going to do it. As Australia just build up army and go independent whenever ready, Brits will not be able to send more than 50 troops anyway. Yeah, but we do want to finish Federate Australia so that they give us the other subjects before we do that. Come on. The petite bourgeoisie, under the leadership of Casimir Olieta, has ushered in an era of liberal politics that promises a freer society where all citizens have a part in the political process. Yeah, look at this. Okay, freedom, equality, brother. I didn't realize we were there already. So, we could change the industrialist to a radical. Or the trade unions to a reformer. Yeah, let's get the industrialists into the radical party. An influential faction within the armed forces has grown frustrated with their co-members' neutrality on the topic of public schools. Themselves in favor of the law, they have now resolved to form a separate political faction intent on passing it. No, we'll take the full 15 on that. All right, we have the paper mill, which is good. Are you thinking about maybe going back up to wealth voting to get better IGs? Honestly, I kind of like having the trade unions be in the mix here this early. So I'll probably stay on universal suffrage. Yeah, you need to be at peace. Yeah. So now we're at peace. I don't get the why we're not getting this. Oh, you know why we just bumped down rank? We lost Australian Unifier. We were getting plus 50 prestige for it. That's why. Have at least amicable relations and greater GDP than a neighboring Australian or Maori country with the same overlord. I mean, we fulfill that. Oh, all right. We are at the 3-hour mark here, so we're going to take a quick 90-second break, pay homage to the gods of ads, so that we don't get hit by ads during gameplay. So 90 seconds, and we will be right back. All right, and we're back. And we're back. Let me catch up here. Build a staple crop at some point, please. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, we might do that before we start working on the steel mills, actually. I also got to say, oh, I love your YouTube vids. They are really informative and interesting. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad they're helpful. I'm thinking my next one is going to be about colonization. I've never really done a tutorial yet about colonizing in the game. So that might be the next one I'm working on. Is Australia about to flip the table on Britain as soon as they can? I've seen this one before. Yeah, hopefully. Radical industrialists. Sounds like the trade unions successfully infiltrated them. I know, right? We're gonna have the trade unions, intelligentsia, and industrialists all in the, and the petite bourgeoisie all in the same party. Maybe because you aren't neighboring another Australian subject. I don't know. No, I don't think that's what it is. I don't really know what it is. It'll probably just pop up at a certain point. Because we should also get Southern Australia here. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, let's add... Start building elsewhere too, I guess. In Queensland, build that there. You don't have a border. Hey, D-Dab, hello, hello. How are you? Welcome, welcome. On a border with the other country, get a claim and colonize. Well, we won't really need to because Great Britain will give us this subject through this journal entry. Wait, what the hell? South Australian National... Oh, South Australia's having some issues. Alright. And so once we get them, we will, like, get their claims and their colonizing. Oh, hey, that was quick. Do you have any border with any subject? No, but I don't think you need a border. Does it? It doesn't say that anywhere. Than a neighboring Australian or Maori country. Oh, I guess... Oh, is that it? We have to share a border. Well, then why wouldn't we get this? Because we do border them. I think you need a land border with them, but I could be wrong. Yeah, but we have a land border with the United Tribes, and this is a Maori, right? Yeah. Relationship. No, we have the relationship. We're amicable. Same thing with South Australia. Oh, well, let's start improving relations here. Yeah, with United Tribes. No, we don't have the relationship there, yeah. So we do need to start working on that. Alright. Let's add another construction sector. Election season has begun in New South Wales, and with it, the strategizing of the government's fixers. If we wish, we may wield the power of the state to ensure a favorable result. Yeah, we'll take the radical part here because this liberal party... Oh, no, they didn't join. I thought the industrialists were going to join the radical party, huh? Well, what are the initial election results here? Ooh, the radical party off to a big lead. So we'll leave things where they are. We don't need to interfere with it right now. Having the three economic social classes in the same party is the ultimate corporatist dream. Yeah. To outside observers, the industrialists may appear firmly committed to the idea of public schools, but behind this facade of unity, discord has long festered. Now a clique of dissenters have finally had enough and have officially broken with their fellow members over the issue of reform. We're in the third phase. We have no setbacks, so we'll take this. Oh yeah, look at this. We can get another 22. Let's negotiate. Whispering through a haze of smoke in Richard Burke's private dining hall, the armed forces discuss what compromises they might accept for changing their stance on public schools. We are not going to get standard of living up that far, so we'll commit. Yeah, we're going to have to, like, double the size of the military. We might be able to do that, though, within 10 years, so we'll try that. Stake a claim on Yura. Where, oh, here. Ah, yes, there we go. Okay. Yes, yes, good call, good call. Yeah, I suppose we can afford it. Ugh. Yeah, just do Anchorage. The aged Richard Burke, leader of the armed forces, has unexpectedly expired mid-campaign, robbing the Conservative Party of a cornerstone politician. The question of his replacement is now on everyone's lips. Okay, so they get this guy who's a Republican. Or a liberal. Well, I don't want to give 30% momentum to the Conservative Party, so we will take this person. State colonial claims on regions where you don't have one and colonize in the direction of the colony you want to unite with them. Yeah, the problem is we can't really afford the ports. But we also can't do it right now anyway. But it's okay for now. I don't think the leader ideologies and political parties always line up. I got confused because of that during my Columbia run. I had a point where most of the IG leaders are radical, but most of those IGs were in the Social Democratic Party. Oh. So I looked it up, and you can't federate with the United Tribes. It's a known bug because of the region changes in the 1.13 update. Oh, interesting. Well, wonk, wonk, wonk on that. The enactment of public schools has come to a halt due to some public protests. Many are the families that lack the purchasing power to meet the expenses that buying new school supplies imply, thus preventing their children from scholarization. I don't mind the plus 10% dependence income. Yeah, I don't really care for that too much. We'll provide school supplies. We'll provide them. Jeez, jeez, jeez. Let's see. Ooh, we got a lot of tax waste here. Are we below taxation capacity anywhere? I mean, we're only going to fix, what, 200 pounds anyway. Yeah, I suppose this isn't a big priority right now. I love how the military just keeps asking for more budget, realistic behavior. Yeah. The banks are sweating. I know, right? Oof. All right, yeah, we need to bring the cost of construction down a little bit. Oops, no, not that. So we'll get one of those guys going. Ah, nice. We can get another logging camp going. That's actually what we need more than anything. So we'll build those two things. Colonization level is at 2. We can't get to level 3 yet. That's why we're trying to get to quinine. Pointing to the rampant turmoil from radical activities in New South Welsh Northern Territory, the Conservative Party has campaigned on the platform of more policing. All right, we'll do that. A series of perceived poor decisions by the animist rights movement. Oh, hold on. Oh yeah, now we can get balloon reconnaissance. A series of perceived poor decisions by the animist rights movement has led to a notable decrease in its ability to raise money. Numerous wealthy sympathizers have quietly halted their support for the movement in its current form. All right. Yeah, we'll get some loyalists there, or lower their pop traction. We'll take that. Keep the loyalists up. Now, hold on here. What is happening here? Is isolated from its market. Okay, this is strange. Yeah, no, I shouldn't need... I should be able to have anchorage. We should be connected as long as there's somebody working the port. Providing for the well-being of people who can't afford it themselves sounds like socialism, yeah. Make the kids work part-time in the mines, then they can afford school supplies. That's the American way right there. Yeah, the capital has a port. Although, yeah, hold on. Did we lose employment at the port? Well, first of all, this should be cargo port. Good call, good call. That might be it. Although there are at least 10 people working there, we should have something. We'll see if that's it. Despite not enjoying full rights under New South Welsh law, some wealthier Aboriginal people have begun moving into neighborhoods and frequenting establishments they would normally be excluded from. Yeah, we'll take this because we can afford the hit to approval on the petite bourgeoisie. See, it's not subsidized. Probably dropped to 0 workers for a week. Yeah. It wasn't moving back up. We ended up getting that shipyard, right? Yeah. So we're gonna hire this up. We're gonna try to start selling some ships, actually. We'll raise this. We'll raise the propulsion. Iron and hardwood. We don't want to do that. Oh yeah, before we start building this, we need artillery. It's taking its sweet time to hire. Hmm. Yeah, hold on. I find this, though, still to be weird. In the past, as long as you had somebody working the port was open. Yeah, like at this point... Okay, let me think about this. What am I missing here? We have a working port. The Radical Party won. Oh, Casimir Olienta is now our leader. Oh, and what will this do here? The armed forces. Yeah, but once we put the Radical Party in, actually, everything will be fixed. There we go. Righteous government. 100% success, 0 stall. Oh, yeah. Save and reload. It might be, right? Yeah, the infrastructure, we're above infrastructure. We have 1 infrastructure, we're using 0. And see, we paid for the port. That's supposed to give you instant access. I am gonna try that. I think you're right. Yeah, it was a bug. It was a bug. Good call, somebody. Ah, oh, that was annoying. Okay. Oh my god. Alright, so we'll keep that as is. Keep this as it is. Alright, so now... Yeah, we're just gonna colonize out that way. Sounds good. And we have public schools. Alright. Alright, so now we're going to change our taxation law. That is what we need next. Yeah, look at... I think the cost of paper... Well, paper's not the main thing killing us. Oh god, yeah, these supply ships. Hold on. There we go. There we go, there we go. Okay. Wait, I don't think that's gonna hold, though. So let's see. Yeah, that's what I thought. We probably lost 2 colonization ticks with that bug. Yeah. This is the most progressive nation I've seen this early. Yeah, I know. I mean, law-wise, we're off to a decent start here. And thank God our interest rate is so low. Wish, though... Wish things were a little bit different. Yeah, we'll raise taxes for a bit. I hate to do it, but... I mean, we are at a righteous government, so we can afford it. Though, yeah, the taxes, you know... Yeah, we don't need to be subsidizing the shipyards. We're not actually utilizing them yet. We don't need to subsidize that. Honestly, we don't really need to subsidize this port either. All right, there we go. And so, yeah, once we fix up some of the construction inputs here, I think that'll put us over the edge. Yeah, so we'll do a tooling workshop, and then we'll get back on track. Remember in my Russia run, I tried to pass tenant farmers, and the landowners wanted me to stay on very low taxes for 2 years as a negotiation. I know. Those are always one of the toughest ones, because I'm always like, yeah, no, we can't. That's just not going to work. That's why I feel like the taxes negotiation only really works if you have very high amenability, like 75 or above. Because the amount of time you'll have to stay on it, it will be very low. All the interest groups are really happy too. Look at these guys. Well, half of them are all radicals anyway. This is a radical Australia. Oh, and we're also getting tooling workshops on the North Island. Our private sector loves to build on the North Island. Excuse me. It is so calming to be able to pass laws constantly. I know. Oof. Unlike that previous Japan run where it was a struggle. Casimiro Olienta has oh no! Casimiro Olienta has suddenly died while drafting legislation for proportional taxation law. Oh, that was the guy we invited to the country and everything. Thank you for your service, my friend. So who's our guy now? Zachary Lambert. Okay. It also helps if you have good alternative incomes. Yeah. I was able to use it in my Columbia run after I got the Panama Canal pretty efficiently. Nice. What power block principles did the British pick? Well, we did get militarized industry, which is nice. Colonial offices, which is definitely going to help us. Of course, they increased vassalization and foreign investment. Yeah, rough run for agitators. For sure. They're just dropping like flies. A group of students attending the university in New South Wales have arranged a demonstration in support of the New South Welsh supremacist movement. The display has inspired other students to join the cause. Yeah, we'll take this to get less throughput hit. Yes, the I love human rights. Not you, not you, native go back government. Australia truly like its sibling. Yep. Nothing ever changes. Yeah, foreign investment kind of sucks, but at the same time, we're a subject of the British anyway. Although, yeah, it does give all of these guys investment rights in us. But so far nobody's really built anything anyway. Alright. So we're lowering some of the debt. I shouldn't be as worried about the debt. We have such a low interest rate, but I do kind of feel like once we get to the point where we're going to liberate ourselves, I feel like this interest rate is going to be much different. For instance, we won't be getting this negative 10% loan interest rate because of this colonial governor. So we do have to think about that too. That one principle where you get negative 10% mortality would have been nice. Yeah. Yeah. Also a construction principle would have been nice. But c'est la vie. Well, my friends, I think we have reached the stopping point for the night. We had this is a pretty good start to the run, I would say. We are doing fairly well. Yeah, as was pointed out, it is kind of crazy that we are a insignificant power in 1849 who's basically deficit spending. But hey, it's working at the moment. But we're off to a good start. We're getting the east side of the continent. We're starting to move up this way. So yeah, so far so good. That was one of the only hiccups I had in my conga run. Someone showed up and forced me into foreign investment. Oh yeah, but so far they've just built a handful of fruit plantations, so it's not too bad. Hey, not bad. If that's all they're gonna take, then why not, right? It was a good first episode. Yeah, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Yeah. But that's going to be it for tonight. So the next time I'm going to be on will be on Thursday. Thursday, we're back to doing a double session of Europa Universalis 5. So next time I'll be on will be Thursday morning. And so we'll continue the Serbia run there. Okay, was a nice stream. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for joining in, somebody. Very nice to have you. Hope to see you the next time. Solid start. Glad to be back in the evening streams. Yes, same here. Glad to be back in the evening. I missed it. But we're back. We're back. This is a fun start, Ham. I look forward to seeing your next one. Yes, thank you, my friend. Good to see you again. I'm glad we're back in the evening. Hopefully I won't make you crave lunch the next one. Yeah, see you next time. Same to you. See you next time, everybody. Yep, hopefully I'll see everybody on Thursday. Otherwise, as always, be awesome, my friends, and I'll see you next time.